Well, what's going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's very nice to have you here today. I am a knife collector. For those of you that just discovered this channel, I have a lot of pocket knives and a lot of knives. But that's not where I started. No, I grew up dirty. I grew up in the outdoors. I grew up backpacking and camping and hiking. And that's where this love and fascination with knives comes from. I do not have a collection of tactical, cool knives. I have a collection of knives that interest me. Okay, some of my stuff's tactical at this point, but whatever. But I grew up with a little folding knife in my pocket and always a fixed blade somewhere. In my camping bag, in my pack. One of the things my father left me as I grow older is an appreciation for good tools. Now, that being the case, I started with fixed blades a long time ago, long before I cared at all about expensive folding knives, and man, has that changed. But having a good set of fixed blade knives, well, frankly, I can't remember a time when that wasn't the truth. Now, of course, as I've gotten older and my understanding of blade steel and grinds and technology and all that stuff has changed, what I think of as a good fixed blade has changed along with all that. But my love of them hasn't changed. Now, a long time ago now, 7+ years, on my wedding day, my now wife, Women Carry Knives, you may have heard of her, surprised me with this. Now, this is a Chris Reeve Nyala, and it is singularly the best mid-size to smaller fixed blade I have ever owned. It's S35VN. It is hollow ground. It is exceptionally comfortable, and I used this thing on every outing and camping trip, well, after I got it. And then as I started to collect knives, something became very clear to me. This is sort of special. And it's not just special because of where I got it. It's also special because they are hard to find. And so, excuse me, I backed away from using it all the time. But what do you replace it with? Well, I've had a bunch of Bark Rivers. I've had a bunch of things sort of come and go. More useful, less useful, more along these lines, different than this. I've tried a bunch of stuff. Now, for a number of years now, my go-to for this, and again, there's nothing that this won't do. It's just, it's kind of special to me, and I don't want to screw it up, and I don't want to lose it, and I don't want to, I just want this to be around until my son, right, can maybe use it to go camping and take it places and do stuff. So I've been carrying other things, and I promise there is actually a knife we're reviewing in this video, but I kind of want to get there, so just bear with me. For a long time after this was no longer my go-to, I carried this. This is the Tactical Everyday Dad, or Ted Kermode. He's a really nice guy. We spent time at Blade Show with him, a couple of Blade shows. Enough that at Blade Show 22, Anthony gave me the prototype for the Kermode here. Now, this is MagnaCut, and in my review of this, I talk about this is my first experience with MagnaCut. This is a zero grind, so no secondary bevel. It's Tanto. It's not as everyday functional as this. The belly on this is just unmatched, but this thing has served me absolutely well. And then, again, something funny happened. Anthony, Tactical Everyday Dad, is gone. He's no longer designing knives. He's no longer producing knives. And because this was a gift from him, I also don't want to screw this up. So what do you do? Well, you keep your eyes open is what you do. I've had other things come and go. But recently, and you guys, if you've watched my channel at all, you know I have kind of a good relationship with Miguron Knives. Sam Lau, the owner of the company, and I spent a lot of our COVID lockdown talking about knives. I got to name some of his folders, which was very cool. So recently he released this. This is the Cremont. Cremont, sorry. Kermode. Cremont. Kramot. And I love this knife. I'm going to go ahead and put the Kermode away. Now the Cremont, and that's kind of a stupid name. Sorry, it just is. Fills a lot of the same space that the Nyala does. It's a really good blade steel. Pause. If you watch Metal Complex's channel, you will know that he is having kind of a running argument / discussion with Sam about his M390's HRC, and oh my God, do I hate this discussion. I hate this discussion because I am not a metallurgist. For the first 40 years of my life, I only knew if a blade held an edge or not. Okay, now having said that, Miguron runs their M390 a little soft for Metal Complex's taste. They run their M390 at a pretty standard 59 to 61 HRC. That is too low for a folding knife. But on a fixed blade, a slightly softer heat treat means it's not going to chip or snap, and you'll be able to sharpen it easier in the field. Now, I haven't had this on a 10-day camping trip, backpacking trip. I haven't thrown it at fences or whatever Metal Complex is doing with his cheap knives these days. But I have used it everywhere from the garden to backpacking and hiking. I've used it to slice the food that I want to eat. I have used it to cut material in the field. I feather sticked with it. I have not batoned it because I don't do that, but you could. And what I have come to is that this knife does everything this knife does. And that's what I was looking for this whole time. Excuse me. I have something in my throat. So, I have found the knife that now, this is not an entirely unique design. There are others. But I was looking for this. A combination of feel in hand, design idea, like how is it put together, what does it offer, how does it cut, how does it carry, all of those things. I'll move this. And here it is. Now, it's got kind of squared off scales. It is full tang construction, right? It has kind of squared off scales, so it's not quite as comfortable as the Nyala, but insignificantly uncomfortable. I cut, I don't know, a couple of 100 yards of rope with this thing just to see how it goes. I will also point out that I didn't even have to sharpen it after that when I was done. I mean, it wasn't like super aggressive rope or anything, but I cut it. These lines here, this edge, you can feel it a little after, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes of working, I started to feel it a little bit. Whereas with the Nyala, there's nothing, it's perfect. But this thing absolutely did what I wanted it to. It is hollow ground, lots of belly. Reasonably thick slice of M390, but because of that hollow grind, it has a lovely slicing edge. The scales, as I said, are a little squared off, but big enough to be neutral in shape, to be comfortable, kind of no matter how you hold it. Right? If you're up here, right, you kind of tuck your finger in for draw cuts. It is fantastic to come up on it. You can feather stick with it really well. It's pokey. It's a nice drop point. It's got a little bit of jimping right here where if you hold it back here out of the forward choil, your thumb lands right there. If you come forward, you miss it a little bit. The one thing I wish that he had done is something that Anthony did on the Cremont here, on the Kermode, which is put jimping forward for your finger. But he didn't do that, and that's okay. Now, the best part about this knife is that they're available right now, and they're $195. I'll give you an example. I'll be reviewing this shortly. This is a Bark River. This is a beautiful knife. This is their classic semi-skinner. This is in MagnaCut. It's also a zero grind like my other knife, right? So there's no secondary bevel down here. This is a great knife. Good slicer, right? Relatively thin. Good. Everything's great about it. These are $350. Now, it's made in the United States. There's a USA-made tax on that. It's a slightly more blade, all that stuff, but that's the truth about Bark River. And knives of this caliber, they are very expensive. I'll give you another example. Recently, and I love this thing, on a slightly smaller scale for sort of an EDC tool, I picked up this. This is a Lynch Northwest Sparrow 7. Now it's MagnaCut, right? This is their milled stepped pattern. It's probably would have gotten the clean sides if I'd go back and do it again. But anyway, it's a little smaller. It's not quite as comfortable in hand as this thing. This is $330. So you get what I'm saying. This is made in the United States. USA-made knives are awesome. Oh, by the way, there's a full review of this coming down the road too. USA-made knives are awesome. I totally support that. Getting a really good fixed blade is super important. I support that too. However, again, what I was trying to do was replace this. And I have. The Cremont here does everything that the Chris Reeve does for a third the price. The slightly too soft for a folding knife M390 at, I don't know where this came in, but let's call it maybe 60 HRC, has held an edge beautifully. The hollow grind, thank you, means that it is incredibly slicey when you need it to be, and yet, because it's a nice thick slice of the steel, it's robust when you want it to be that too. The sheath that it comes with is pretty straightforward Kydex. It comes with a relatively nice belt clip attached. And again, this is $195. Retention, very good. No shake, no rock, no wobble. This is an excellent pocket. Did I say pocket knife? Shit, you can tell what I do for a living. For fun, I mean. This is an excellent knife. That's the point. It is not my job to tell you what to buy. I wouldn't want that job. There's lots of channels that do that. I do, however, feel like it's my responsibility to share really good things with you when they come along. This is one of those things. If your instinct is only buy American, I won't buy Chinese, that's cool, then this is not the video for you. But if you're looking for an excellent tool for a decent price that's going to serve your purposes and look kind of cool while it's doing it, the Cremont here is probably for you. Let's do some size comparisons with some folders and some things that you may be a little more familiar with. Where'd it go? All right, first let's just put it up standard Sharpie. Everybody's held one of those pretty much. So there you go. I mean, just to help out a little bit, right? All right, staying with the pen groove, how about a really nice Microtech pen? All right, that's just for, everybody's held a pen. Now for knives. Here's the Ritter Hogue. Right, need a little more cutting, right? A little more blade, but grip's about a little bit shorter. So you get, right, it's similar in size to the full-size Hogue. Here it is against the Pyrite. Gotta love this knife. And then how about the Deca? Right. The Cremont here is a good mid-sized to smaller utility fixed blade. What do you get? Well, you get 3.5 inches of cutting on 3 3/4 inches if we go to here, and a little over 4 inches if we go back to here. So let's call it 4 inches of M390. The grip area, if we start back here, is a little over 3.5. But if you add that forward choil, and I always do, we're talking about 4.5. right? It's very comfortable. Tip to tail, this thing, and I just, Kramot, Kramot. I don't know, man, you tell me. But we're coming in at 8 1/4 overall, which is pretty good. It's a well-balanced knife, right? It just sits very comfortably in the hand. As I said, it comes with a slice of Kydex. Which is well-shaped. I'm not a huge fan of this style of belt clip. I know they work really well. I've got that on my Kermode. I really like this because it's easier just to pop on and off on the fly, but what you use is up to you. Let's go ahead and weigh it. We'll do it both with and without sheath because that matters. The Cremont here, not too bad on the billboarding, by the way. You got the Miguron logo on this side, M390 on that side, and the rest is clean. It is a very nice stone wash with a little bit of belt satin on the flats. 5.2 ounces. And then on your belt, 7.8, so shy of 8 ounces. By way of example, the greatest knife ever made, the Nyala here, is 5.7, right? Knives serve a purpose in different ways. They offer different things. Where did that go? Stand by a second, gang. I'm losing my mind. To be fair, losing my mind is not that difficult. I do it all the time. Yeah, so it's 0.15 of an inch, 150 thousandths, or 4 millimeters, which is pretty good. The handle area is 15.5 millimeters, or just a little over a ½ inch, right? This way gives you a little over an inch of grab. One of the things that I love about the Nyala is how lean it is through here. It's really comfortable when you're holding it in the various grips. This one's a little less so because it's kind of thick through here, and yet it still gives you the pinch grip. It really gives you try that again. It gives you a really nice place to grab. This is a great knife. And it's a great knife that leans into the only problem that, for instance, Metal Complex has with Miguron, which is their M390 is a little soft for folders, but it's perfect. As far as I'm concerned, you will have different feelings and opinions. That's cool. This is a great knife. And I think at $195, yeah, $195, you would be well served to get yourself one if you were looking for a really good utility fixed blade that's not going to break the bank. Do I wish I could just continue to carry that? I mean, I have 300 folding knives or something like that. Fixed blades are they're more utilitarian to me, right? I do have a collection of fixed blades. I have some very interesting stuff, some collector's edition stuff, but for the most part, I own fixed blades because they are what I use and carry when I am out camping and backpacking and hiking and all that stuff. I always carry a folder too, but this is the utility tool. I very much wish that I could continue to just carry this, but unless I find another one, and they are hard to find, I won't, because A, again, it's a gift from someone I love and who clearly loves me, and B, so far I've been unable to find a replacement. So now I have this. I'll put this season, coming into winter, I'll put a year of garden use and of winter hiking, and maybe hopefully some winter camping with it. I will do everything that I like to do with fixed blade, and that's everything from utility work to food prep. And then I'll come back and I'll share with you what I have found. But I can tell you this is going to do the job really well. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. This is the Cremont Kramot, which is just a difficult name to say. From Miguron, it is an excellent fixed blade knife in great materials. I really enjoy it, and I think you will too. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.